Hi, hello. This will be a short video and I'm going to use the Screencast-O-Matic for this. So thank you Screencast-O-Matic for the quality that you offer by this video software. Yeah, video recording software. So I appreciate it. So let me just get into this video. This is a very short video about easy orbital mechanics, and I want to prove that the arguments in this video are gibberish. This doesn't imply that necessarily orbital mechanics are a hoax, but I'll just show that these arguments are gibberish from my point of view, from what I know, from my logic and my general knowledge of physics. Okay, let me just show you.
So contrary to what you see in movies, spacecraft can't just sit around in space near a planet because they'd fall right into it. To stay in space, we need to get into orbit. So first, we take off from Earth's surface, fly up past the atmosphere, and keep accelerating more and more, so that we start...
So the first argument I'd like to bring here is the fact that this guy says that spacecraft can not just sit around near the Earth because it's going to fall. Yeah, and it's showing this falling idea, this crashing and burning idea. See this?
Spacecraft can't just sit around in space near a planet because they'd fall right into it.
Okay, crash and burn, but then he's talking about orbiting. Yeah, take a look.
To stay in space, we need to get into orbit.
Yeah.
So first, we take off from Earth's surface, fly up past the atmosphere, and keep accelerating.
Yeah, so then why this aircraft, which is quote-unquote crashing on the Earth, why isn't it going into some orbit, like, yeah, motion? Why is it crashing? So this doesn't make any sense. This is the first argument, yeah, for me showing that this is gibberish. So again, take a look.
Can't just sit around in space near a planet because...
Yeah, so why isn't it orbiting now? Because it's coming pretty close to the Earth, so it should start orbiting. Why isn't it orbiting? Why is it crashing?
They fall right into it.
Yeah, but when you take off from the Earth, then you're going to orbit. So why doesn't it work both ways? It doesn't make any sense. So this is the first argument for the gibberish. Okay, let's just go on.
To stay in space, we need to get into orbit. So first, we take off.
Now the second argument, please take a look to see at what height this spacecraft is starting to orbit.
From Earth's surface, fly up past the atmosphere, and keep accelerating more and more, so that we start looping around Earth with...
So 28,000 kilometers is starting to orbit. Okay, let me show you again. Let me show you. Yeah, because this is gibberish. Yes, please observe.
Surface, fly up past the atmosphere, and keep accelerating more and more, so that we start looping.
So why is it starting to orbit at 28,000 kilometers? Why not at a smaller height? What about the fucking ISS, which is orbiting at something like, I don't know, 400 miles, which is like, I don't know, up to 1,000 kilometers? So why is this gibberish video showing us that this spacecraft is starting to orbit at 28,000 kilometers? And don't let me go into 28 into the 2/8, because this is another subject which I don't support 100%, but this is about number coding of the hoaxes, and 2/8, 28 is such a number coding. But don't let me get into this, because this video is not about this. So let me just show you again. Please take a look again.
And keep accelerating more and more, so that we start looping around Earth.
28,000 kilometers. Yeah, why not 400 kilometers? What is that height from which it's starting to orbit? Because 28,000 kilometers, this is a height, this is an orbit for a geosatellite. But you know that we have smaller altitude satellites which are orbiting at lower altitudes than 28,000 kilometers, like 1,000 kilometers. The freaking ISS, which is at what, 600 kilometers? So kiss my ass, this video doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is the second argument for this gibberish.
Before we could fall back into it. Now we're in orbit. This is where we're in 0G.
Yeah. Orbit at 28,000 kilometers? Why not a smaller orbit? This is, oh, you're going to say this is just an example. Well, kiss my ass, this is gibberish.
Because even though we're still pulled downwards, we're just sort of free falling back onto our own trajectory. Now, for example, to get to the moon.
Yeah, in fact, orbiting is just free falling, but because of the blah 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 centrifugal force or some shit, is not actually falling. It will take like 1,000 years to fall by completing this orbit, right? This is what the science says. I don't want to get into this, so please just follow the first two arguments. I hope you understood them. So the first one about the crashing, about the crash and burn, which was gibberish, and then the second argument showing us the orbit. So this video, this is actually crap. This is crap. Yeah, I'm not saying orbital mechanics are a hoax. I'm saying this video is a BS, and this was given to me by this was sent to me by my friend Poopy Town Cat. Yeah, Town Cat. Yeah, please consider changing your fucking name, man.
We need to point forward and fire our engines to expand our orbit until it intersects with the moon's path. Now, even though the moon's gravity is starting to pull us in, we still need to flip around.
Well, this is interesting. So then, when they're going to the moon, they are selecting a trajectory to intersect the moon. And this will go somehow into that video which I made, which I showed you that it's impossible to go to the moon, except maybe for intersecting its trajectory, because the speed of such BS Earth spacecraft is too small compared to the speed of the moon or the Earth or the solar system. You understand? So here they are saying that they are in fact intersecting. They want to intersect the trajectory of the moon. Never did I heard this argument, which is still logical. Never did I hear this argument in other video or other source. They are interjecting. Okay, let's just listen again to this BS.
Our orbit until it intersects with the moon's path.
So they are trying to intersect with the moon's path, yeah? Did you hear this before? When they went to the moon, they tried to intersect with the moon, or did they just go to the moon? This is what I'm trying to say. So this video is trying to inoculate the idea that they are intersecting with the moon, probably because compared to 50 years ago, people have their head out of their asses and they say, well, there's a problem with the speed. Going to the moon, you're going to be left behind because the moon is flying, quote unquote, into outer space faster than your shitty spacecraft. So then you have to intersect the trajectory of the moon, right? Yeah? Yeah, right. But now they're not really going to the moon, they're just using this orbital BS slingshot energy or what. They're trying to say that they are going on this orbit. They're not actually going. They're not using their motors or their propulsion system. They're just using the orbit. So this is the third BS this video is trying to sell you. It's not making sense. This is not what has been taught through previous videos, through previous information that you get from school, from high school. Never have I heard that they are using this orbit of the Earth. They're going on a higher orbit to reach the moon. This is BS. This is total BS. From my point of view, I might be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please excuse me. But okay, let me just go again through this. Because this is revolting. This video is trying to sell 3 gibberish arguments to you. And this was sent to me by Tomcat.
We need to point forward and fire our engines to expand our orbit until it intersects with the moon's path. Now, even though the moon's gravity is
again,
to get to the moon, we need to point forward and fire our engines to expand our orbit and
to expand the orbit. So you're not actually going to the moon. You're just yeah, you're just going on a higher orbit, which seems to, yeah, which will be in fact intersecting the moon orbit, yeah?
Till it intersects with the moon's path.
Yeah, incredible, incredible. Let me just go again through this. This is such big BS.
Our orbit until it intersects with the moon's path. Now, even though the moon's gravity is starting to...
So first of all, they are on an orbit, so they're not actually using their propulsion motors, their yeah, thrusters, nothing. Yeah, and second of all, they're intersecting the moon. Did you get that? They're intersecting the moon, yeah, by their orbit. Yeah, kiss my ass. This is gibberish. This is gibberish.
Till it intersects with the moon's path. Now, even though the moon's gravity is starting to pull us in, we still need to flip around and burn our engines in reverse to slow down and get into...
Well, this is the first time after takeoff they are burning their engines, man. This is the first time after takeoff they're burning their engines because they're just using the orbit of, the Earth to reach the moon. Did you hear that? Yeah? Incredible. I didn't know this. This is incredible. This is BS. This is bullshit.
And burn our engines in reverse to slow down and get into orbit.
BS.
At this point, we can pick a spot to land, burn our engines against our trajectory, and come down to the surface. So that's it for now, guys. Just something you can share with
Yeah, so how many fucking times did they burn their engines? Yeah, only 3 times in one trip to the moon. Are you actually, listening to this? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, maybe I'm just a stupid ass. Who knows? It's possible. Yeah, it's quite possible. I'm not afraid of being stupid. I like to learn, but this video is gibberish. And from my point of view, this is BS. This is just BS. Yeah, take a look again.
free falling back onto our own trajectory. Now, for example, to get to the moon, we need to point this sort of free falling back. This is where we're in 0G because
Come on.
atmosphere and keep
So let me see how many times they're burning their engines. 1. Yeah, 1.
from Earth's surface, fly out past the atmosphere, and keep accelerating more and more, so that we start looping around
So then engine shut off.
Earth before we can fall back into it. Now we're in orbit. This is where we're in 0G because even though we're still pulled downwards, we're just sort of free falling back onto our own trajectory. Now, for example, to get to the moon, we need to point forward and fire our engines to expand
So they fire their engines again. Second time.
our orbit until it intersects with the moon's path.
And they're going to the right orbit. They're doing nothing right now. No fuel, just the orbit is bringing them to the moon. Pay attention.
Now, even though the moon's gravity is starting to pull us in, we still need to flip around and burn our engines in reverse.
Burn their engines the third time. Yeah.
Slow down and get into orbit. At this point, we can pick a spot to land, burn our engines against our trajectory.
Yeah, the
and
fourth
come down to
time.
the surface.
Yeah, what you going to do with the extra fuel, man? You have a lot of fuel. You only burn engines 4 times, yeah? What you going to do? You're going to return to Earth with the fuel tank full because you only burned your engines like 8 times in this trip? Are you kidding me? Give me a fucking break with this BS. This BS orbital, easy orbital BS. This is just BS. Gibberish and BS, yeah. Sorry for this aggravated tone, but this BS is aggravating me. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, please imagine. Please, try to remember what you learned in school and what you've seen. I'm not talking about movies. I'm talking about documentaries. Have you heard any of these 3 arguments which I try to debunk here in any of the documentaries from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, yeah? Anyway, easy orbital mechanics, BS, yeah? Kiss my ass, liars.